Early spring in New York always carries a slight chill, even though it's mid-March. The night wind still occasionally creeps into coat collars, like a naughty child. The streets are blurred beneath the streetlights, and the occasional steam rising from the cracks in the cast-iron manhole covers dances. In the night, casting a mysterious and dazzling veil over the city, people hunched higher necks as they hurried along, while the neon lights glittering along the street cast a dreamlike shadow over the name of the Blue Heart nightclub. The Blue Heart nightclub's staff entrance opened into a side alley. Haley Bennett, clad in her nightclub uniform, a dark blue wool coat, and a gray scarf, cradled her neck. She clasped her right arm, a half-burned cigarette between her left fingers, her body heat trying to ward off the city's indifference and loneliness. A crowd was already surging in front of the nightclub's main entrance. The security guards at the door resembled black door gods. Music and voices streamed through the heavy door panels, dispelling the cold outside. "Why are you still dazed?" Tina Parker, her high heels treading, poked her head out of the employee entrance door. She leaned over to her, naturally taking the half-smoked cigarette from Haley's hand, and taking a deep drag. Her exhaled smoke mingled with a cloud of white mist in the cold night. Tina was Haley's closest friend at Blue Heart, and their roommate. The two of them often joked with each other. Whoever earned the biggest tip got tacos. Which hot tub tonight would be in first? "I was just wondering, if we can't save enough for a deposit, can we leave that moldy apartment and live in a new house with heating?" Haley said, straightening her hair with a wry smile as she walked. "Come on, unless the boss gets kind someday. My only hope of moving is winning the lottery." Tina bit her lip and pulled her collar down a little to make her weapon more visible. "But if I can earn some tips tonight, maybe I can buy an extra pack of instant noodles tomorrow, only if your salary isn't deducted. Yesterday, the drunk guy complained that I didn't add enough ice to the wine he served, and Monica scolded him severely." Haley shrugged helplessly. "Don't think too much. Small characters like us can only rely on the weather for our livelihood. Come in, go inside, it's too cold outside." Tina patted her arm, and the two of them walked into the nightclub through the employee passage. One after the other, the lights and voice enveloped them in an instant. The nightclub's exterior was ablaze with lights and revelry. The clashing of steel beams and neon lights made the entire hall resemble a flowing maze. In the center of the dance floor, young men and women swayed wildly to the beat of electronic music. Behind the bar, foreign liquor gleamed like gems in the lights. The patrons ranged from flamboyant to reckless, the air thick with the scents of perfume, alcohol, and sweat. Haley, carrying a tray, weaved through the crowd like a small boat floating on the waves. "Did you see the old man with gold chain over there? I heard he gave the waiter a $100 tip last night." Tina whispered close to Haley's ear, her eyes full of envy. "I don't dare to go. He almost put his hand under my skirt yesterday." Haley pouted. "Aren't you used to it yet? How many guests in a place like this can truly respect others?" Tina sighed, with an indescribable turns in her voice. Haley didn't answer, but subconsciously digged at her apron. She knew Tina was telling the truth. Since arriving in New York, she'd seen too many people and things like this to make a living. She endured it as much as she could. After all, life was hard, and the less trouble she could, the better. "Haley, additional order for box number 1. The bartender waved at her from behind the bar. She hurried through the dancing crowd. The tray in her hands grew heavier, her steps growing numb. Every night's work felt like walking on the edge of the city. One wrong step, and the crowd would push her into the darkness. At that moment, a commotion erupted from behind. A drunk man put his arm around her waist, and said with a muffled laugh, "Beautiful girl, how about having a drink with me? It's my treat tonight." Haley moved aside and forced a smile. "Excuse me, sir, I need a drink." "Don't go." The man increased his force, and the tray almost fell to the ground. Haley was about to break free, but Tina suddenly pulled her back. "Let's go over there and ignore him." The two of them quickly ran away, and behind them came the man's unwilling curse. Haley exhaled and lowered her voice. "Thank you, you'll get used to it." Tina comforted her, "But there are a lot of customers tonight, so be careful. The boss is watching." Back at the bar, Haley picked up her freshly made cocktail and prepared to head to box 1. On the way, she saw the backstage of the nightclub, separated by thick blue velvet curtains. Only the well-dressed and powerful celebrities could enter. She remembered that she was just a waitress outside, separated from the world inside by a layer of glass. "Why are you always staring over there?" Tina's voice came again. "Sometimes I think, if I were smarter and prettier, maybe I wouldn't have had to live the life I'm living now." Haley laughed at herself. "Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You've already worked harder than most people." Tina suddenly leaned in and whispered in her ear, "By the way, the boss and the top boss are coming today. Don't make any mistakes, or we'll both be in trouble." Haley's heart tightened. She knew the boss was the nightclub's manager, Monica Lewis, and the big boss, Richard Blackwell, was the legendary figure who controlled the entire nightclub, media, and real estate empire. With a scene like this tonight, any small mistake would be magnified immeasurably. Reality soon put her to the test. Just as she was cautiously carrying her drinks to the private room, there was a shove behind her. A tall man suddenly waved his hand for some unknown reason, and it bumped into her tray. 3 colorful cocktails flew out, drawing a chaotic arc throughout the air, and all of them splashed onto a man in a suit. The air suddenly fell silent. Haley's shirt skipped a beat, and her face paled. She recognized the man as Richard Blackwell. Sitting next to him were the nightclub's owner, Monica, and another stern Eastern European man named Alexander Volkov. At that moment, everyone's eyes were on Haley.
Please stay tuned for the next episode.
See you there.